The combat arena fell silent as Lieutenant Kovic of the Zentari Empire watched the human girl struggle to her feet. Her right arm hung at an unnatural angle, the bone clearly fractured from his calculated strike. Around them, the assembled dignitaries from 12 star systems waited for her surrender. It never came. Ambassador Rin had warned them. "Don't underestimate the humans," she'd said during the pre-ceremony briefing. "Their planet is classified as a Class 9 Deathworld. Everything there evolved to survive impossible conditions." Kovic had dismissed it as diplomatic exaggeration. He stood 7 feet tall, his exoskeleton reinforced with military-grade plating. The human, Maya Rodriguez, according to the roster, barely reached his chest. She was young, perhaps 20 standard years, with dark hair pulled back in a practical braid. When the traditional honor duel began, he'd expected it to last mere seconds. He'd been right about the duration. Wrong about the outcome. Maya's breathing changed. Kovic's thermal sensors detected a spike in her core temperature. Her pupils dilated, and chemical readings showed a massive surge of organic compounds flooding her system: adrenaline, cortisol, endorphins. Her species' legendary stress response was activating. "Forfeit," Kovic said, his translator rendering the word in flat galactic standard. "You are injured. There is no shame in." She moved. Later, the combat analysts would slow the footage down, frame by frame, trying to understand what happened in those 40 seconds. They would measure her velocity, calculate the force of her strikes, debate the tactical decisions that turned certain defeat into brutal victory. But in the moment, Kovic only experienced chaos. Maya used her broken arm as a feint, drawing his attention while her left fist hammered into his lower thorax joint. The impact shouldn't have penetrated his armor. Humans were weak, their bone density laughable compared to proper warrior species. Except Deathworld humans had evolved to survive predators that could crush stone. Their bones were reinforced with organic calcium phosphate matrices that could flex without shattering. Their muscles, developed in crushing gravity, generated force far beyond what their slight frame suggested. Kovic's joint cracked. He swung reflexively, but she'd already moved, circling with predatory grace. Her injured arm hung useless, yet she seemed unfazed by what should have been debilitating pain. Another Deathworld adaptation, the ability to override pain signals when survival demanded it. 20 seconds gone. She struck again, this time at his primary knee joint. The impact sent him staggering. Impossible. She weighed perhaps 60 kilograms. The physics made no sense until he remembered, Earth's gravity was 1.4 times galactic standard. She'd spent her entire life training in conditions that would cripple most species. 30 seconds. Kovic tried to use his reach advantage, but Maya stayed inside his guard, too close for his powerful arms to generate momentum. She moved like water, like something that had learned to survive in an environment where everything was trying to kill it. Her next strike found his audio receptor. The one after that, his visual sensor array. 38 seconds. Blind and disoriented, Kovic felt his legs swept from under him. He crashed to the arena floor, his armor cracking against the hard surface. A moment later, he felt pressure on his neck, her knee, he realized, pinning him with her full body weight. 40 seconds. "Yield," Maya said quietly, her voice steady despite her racing heart rate. The medical scanners showed she was still in fight-or-flight mode, her body primed for continued combat even though the duel was clearly over. Kovic yielded. As medical teams rushed forward, one for him, one for Maya, Ambassador Rin allowed herself a small smile. Perhaps now the Zentari would understand. Humans didn't come from a gentle world that taught cooperation and peace. They came from a planet that demanded strength, adaptability, and an unwillingness to surrender even when every rational calculation said defeat was inevitable. Maya Rodriguez hadn't won because she was stronger or faster. She'd won because on Earth, survival meant fighting 40 seconds longer than anyone thought possible.